Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to this peaceful moment. Take a deep breath, relax your mind, and allow yourself to simply be present right here and right now.
Have you ever felt like life is slipping through your fingers, no matter how hard you try to hold on? You cannot rebuild what you cling to. Let go, and you will rise again. This timeless wisdom from Buddhism holds the key to transforming your life. 2025 is here, and with it comes a rare opportunity, a chance to break free from the cycle of stress, doubt, and the endless noise of the modern world. But how do you start over when you feel stuck? How do you rebuild when everything feels so heavy? This video isn't just another list of lessons, it's a guide to reshaping your life from the inside out. We'll uncover 10 profound Buddhist lessons that hold the power to give you clarity, resilience, and unshakable peace. And trust me, there's a surprise bonus lesson at the end that might just change everything for you. If you're feeling lost, overwhelmed, or like you're constantly at war with your own mind, this is for you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what you need to rebuild your life step by step. Stay with me, because sometimes all it takes is one shift in perspective to change your entire future. Let's begin. Lesson number 1. Acknowledge the need for change. In life, there comes a moment when you look at where you are and realize it's not where you want to be. That discomfort, unsettling as it may feel, is the seed of transformation. Buddhist philosophy reminds us that suffering, or dukkha, isn't something to be feared. It's an invitation to awaken. Like a door standing closed before you, the path to a better life requires one brave action, turning the handle. But how do you know when it's time for change? The answer lies in honesty. Reflect on the cycles of struggle in your life. Are there patterns repeating? Is there a part of you that feels restless, yearning for more, yet afraid to step into the unknown? These feelings are your inner wisdom speaking. Acknowledge them. Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of samadhi, or right understanding, seeing things as they truly are. Growth begins when you stop ignoring what's broken and start addressing it. Take a moment to pause and reflect. Are you clinging to routines, beliefs, or relationships that no longer serve you? This is not a time for self-criticism, but for clarity. Imagine your life as a garden overgrown with weeds. The weeds are the old habits and doubts keeping you stuck. Acknowledge their presence and then decide. Will you let them choke your growth, or will you clear the space for something new to bloom? Let me share a powerful story. A young monk once asked his master, "How can I change my life when the path ahead feels so uncertain?" The master replied, "When a house is on fire, you don't wait to understand every detail of the flames. You simply run out to safety." The lesson is clear. The need for change is not always about knowing every step forward. It's about having the courage to take the first one. Transformation requires vulnerability. You must accept that the life you've built so far may not align with the person you are becoming. This isn't failure, it's evolution. As the Buddha said, "No one saves us but ourselves. No one can, and no one may." We ourselves must walk the path. So, what's the first step? Set aside time today to write down the aspects of your life that feel misaligned. Is it your career, your relationships, your habits? Identify where the need for change feels strongest. Then commit to one small action that moves you closer to where you want to be. Remember, you don't need to have everything figured out to start. All you need is the courage to admit that staying the same is no longer an option. This is your moment to turn the handle. What's waiting behind that door? Something better, something new, and most importantly, a version of yourself you've always been capable of becoming. What's one thing in your life you're ready to change in 2025? Share your thoughts below. 2. Create a clear vision. Imagine being lost in a dense forest at night, surrounded by shadows and uncertainty. Without a compass to point you north, every path feels like the wrong one. In life, that compass is your vision, the clear, unwavering picture of where you want to go. Without it, you're not just wandering, you're drifting. Buddhist philosophy teaches us the importance of samasankappa, or right intention. Transformation begins when you align your intentions with a clear and meaningful vision of the life you want to create. But what does this vision look like? It's not just a list of goals, it's a reflection of your deepest values and desires. Take a moment to ask yourself, what truly matters to me? Is it freedom, peace, connection, or growth? Too often, we chase achievements that others value while ignoring what resonates with our inner truth. This is where clarity begins, with the courage to define your own North Star. Consider this. A man once approached the Buddha, frustrated by his lack of direction. He said, "I feel like I'm running in circles, accomplishing nothing." The Buddha replied, "If a person does not know where they are going, no wind is favorable." The wisdom here is simple. Without clarity, every opportunity becomes a distraction and every challenge feels insurmountable. But with a vision, even the harshest storms can be navigated. So how do you create this vision? Begin by writing it down. Yes, take out a piece of paper and let your thoughts flow. Start with the question, if my life in 2025 were exactly as I dreamed, what would it look like? Be specific. Where are you? What are you doing? Who are you with? Let your answers paint a vivid picture that inspires you. Next, align your vision with your values. Goals that are disconnected from your core beliefs are hollow and unsustainable. If compassion is one of your values, then your vision might include helping others. If creativity fuels you, it might involve pursuing artistic passions. When your goals resonate with who you are, they become easier to follow because they feel like home. And remember, a vision isn't static. It's a living guide. Revisit it often, refining it as you grow. Each time you feel lost, return to that compass pointing true north. It will remind you why you started and where you're heading. Buddhist wisdom teaches that the mind shapes reality. With our thoughts we make the world, the Buddha said. By envisioning the life you want, you're not just dreaming, you're planting the seeds of change. Ask yourself, what is your vision for 2025? Share it below, and let that first step lead you closer to the life you're destined to create. 3. Consistent action and accountability. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's not a single leap, but a staircase built one deliberate step at a time. Each small action is a brick in the foundation of a better life. Buddhist teachings emphasize samavayama, or right effort, the disciplined, consistent energy directed toward positive change. This principle reminds us that progress comes from persistence, not perfection. Think of a staircase. At the base, you might feel overwhelmed, staring up at how far you have to go. But here's the truth. You don't climb it in one stride. You take one step, then another. And before you know it, you're higher than you ever imagined. The same principle applies to rebuilding yourself. Each small, consistent action creates momentum that carries you upward. However, consistency alone isn't enough. You need accountability to stay the course. Imagine planting a seed. You water it daily, but without the sun to guide its growth, it might never flourish. Accountability acts as that guiding light, reminding you to nurture your efforts. It can come from a trusted friend, mentor, or even a journal where you track your progress. Here's a story to illustrate this lesson. A monk was once tasked with moving a pile of heavy stones from one side of the temple to the other. Each day he carried just one stone. Villagers mocked him, saying it would take years to finish. But the monk smiled and replied, Years will pass whether I carry the stones or not, but with one stone each day, I will one day complete the task. And he did. The lesson? Small, consistent actions, no matter how insignificant they seem, lead to profound results over time. To apply this in your life, break your goals into achievable tasks. If your goal is to rebuild your health, don't aim to overhaul your entire lifestyle in 1 week. Instead, start with a single habit. Drink more water, take a 10-minute walk, or meditate daily. Write these tasks down and check them off as you complete them. Progress, however small, fuels motivation. Accountability deepens this commitment. Share your goals with someone who supports your growth, a friend, family member, or coach. Let them hold you to your word, and in return, offer the same for them. When you face setbacks, their encouragement will remind you why you started. Buddhist wisdom teaches, to keep the body in good health is a duty, otherwise we shall not be able to keep our mind strong and clear. The same applies to your journey. Consistent, mindful effort keeps your spirit resilient and your purpose clear. Ask yourself today, what is one small action you can take to climb your staircase? Share it below. And as you continue upward, remember, each step brings you closer to the person you're meant to be. 4. Overcoming inner conflict through mindfulness. Have you ever watched a storm rage over the ocean? The waves crash violently, and the sky darkens with swirling clouds. But eventually, the storm passes, leaving the waters still and serene. Your mind is much like that ocean. When inner conflict arises, self-doubt, fear, regret, it can feel as though you're caught in an endless storm. But mindfulness, as taught in Buddhism, is the practice of letting that storm settle into still air. Inner peace doesn't come from silencing your thoughts, it comes from observing them without judgment. The Buddha described the mind as a restless monkey, always jumping from one thought to the next. Left unchecked, this monkey mind fuels anxiety and internal struggle. But through mindfulness, you can tame it, not by force, but by compassionately guiding it back to the present moment. Let me share a story. A monk sat meditating by a river, his heart weighed down by doubts about his path. He noticed the river's surface rippling from the wind. When the wind stopped, the water became perfectly clear, reflecting the trees and sky. At that moment, he realized something profound. His mind was like that river. When agitated by conflict, it distorted his perspective, but when still, it reflected reality with perfect clarity. To calm your own storm, start with your breath. Sit in a quiet place, close your eyes, and focus on the sensation of air entering and leaving your lungs. Your thoughts will wander. That's natural. Instead of fighting them, simply notice and let them go, like leaves floating downstream. This practice, known as Vipassana meditation, helps you break free from the grip of negative emotions. Mindfulness isn't just about meditation, it's about being fully present in every moment. When you're washing dishes, feel the warmth of the water on your hands. When walking, notice the rhythm of your steps and the texture of the ground beneath your feet. These small acts of awareness anchor you in the present, where inner conflict loses its power. The Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within, do not seek it without." This truth is timeless. Often we try to solve our struggles by changing external circumstances, chasing success, approval, or perfection. But true transformation begins within. By cultivating mindfulness, you create a space where conflict dissolves and clarity emerges. As you rebuild yourself in 2025, consider this. What storms rage within you? What fears or doubts hold you back? Today, take a few moments to sit in stillness, breathe deeply, and observe. Remember, mindfulness isn't about achieving perfection, it's about making peace with imperfection. Your journey to inner peace begins now. What step will you take to calm your storm today? Share your thoughts below and inspire others to find their stillness. 5. Embrace impermanence. Picture a child building a sandcastle on the beach. They spend hours shaping every tower and wall, pouring their heart into the creation. But as the tide rolls in, the waves sweep it all away, leaving only smooth, wet sand behind. For many of us, this moment would be filled with disappointment. But the child smiles, knowing they can always build another. This is the essence of impermanence, the realization that everything in life is temporary, and in that truth lies the power to let go. Buddhism teaches Anicca the principle of impermanence as a cornerstone of understanding life. Everything changes: relationships, successes, failures, and even the challenges we face. When we resist this truth, clinging tightly to what we wish would last forever, we invite suffering. But when we embrace impermanence, we learn to appreciate the beauty of the present and let go of fear when things inevitably shift. Consider the story of a king who asked his wise advisor for a saying that would bring him peace in both good times and bad. The advisor returned with a simple phrase, "This too shall pass." The king was puzzled, but soon understood its power. In moments of triumph, it reminded him to stay humble, knowing that joy was fleeting. In moments of despair, it gave him hope, reminding him that pain wouldn't last forever. In your own life, how often have you held on to something, fearing its end? Perhaps it was a job you outgrew, a relationship that no longer served you, or even a fleeting moment of happiness. Clinging to these things is like trying to hold water in your hands. It slips away no matter how tightly you grasp. But if you let it flow, you allow space for new experiences to fill your life. To embrace impermanence, start by observing change around you. Notice how the seasons shift, how your emotions ebb and flow, and how each day brings something new. Reflect on past challenges that once felt insurmountable, but have since faded into memory. This perspective reminds you that no storm lasts forever. Letting go doesn't mean apathy or indifference. It means approaching life with calm and resilience. When you release attachments to specific outcomes, you free yourself from the weight of expectations. This doesn't make life less meaningful. It makes it more vibrant as you learn to cherish each moment for what it is, not what you wish it could be. The Buddha said, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." As you rebuild yourself in 2025, remember that impermanence is not something to fear. It's a gift that allows you to grow. What is one thing you can release today, knowing it's only temporary? Share your insights below and let this truth guide your journey to a life of clarity and peace. 6. Surround yourself with positive influences. Imagine a garden bursting with life, vibrant flowers, lush greenery, and a sense of peace that lingers in the air. This garden thrives because it's nourished by sunlight, fertile soil, and pure water. But what if it were surrounded by shadows, toxins, or neglect? The blooms would wither, unable to reach their potential. In the same way, your personal growth is deeply influenced by the people and environments you choose to surround yourself with. Buddhism speaks of the Kalyana Mittata, or spiritual friendship, emphasizing the transformative power of wise and supportive companions. The Buddha himself once said, "Admirable friendship, admirable companionship, and admirable camaraderie are the whole of the holy life." This highlights a universal truth: who you walk with shapes the path you tread. Take the story of a young man who felt lost, overwhelmed by his struggles. He sought advice from a monk who handed him 2 seeds. Plant one in rich soil with plenty of sunlight, the monk said, and the other in a dark corner filled with rocks. Weeks later, the seed in the rich soil had grown into a healthy plant, while the other barely sprouted. The monk explained, "You are like these seeds. Surround yourself with light, and you will flourish. But if you stay in shadows, your growth will be stunted. The people you allow into your life act as the sunlight or shadows of your garden. Positive influences, mentors, friends who uplift you, and communities that inspire fuel your growth. They encourage you during setbacks and remind you of your strength. Negative influences, on the other hand, drain your energy, filling your mind with doubt or toxicity. To rebuild yourself in 2025, start by assessing your current environment. Who are the people closest to you? Do they challenge you to grow or keep you stagnant? Be honest with yourself. If certain relationships are more harmful than helpful, it might be time to create distance, not out of resentment, but as an act of self-care. Once you've identified supportive influences, nurture those connections. Spend time with individuals who embody the qualities you admire. Seek out communities aligned with your values, whether it's a meditation group, a creative circle, or like-minded friends pursuing personal growth. These connections will not only inspire you, but also hold you accountable to your goals. Remember, your surroundings extend beyond people. What books do you read? What content do you consume? Everything you engage with shapes your mindset. Choose wisely. As the Buddha taught, an insincere and evil friend is more to be feared than a wild beast. A wild beast may wound your body, but an evil friend will wound your mind. Let your garden bloom under the sunlight of positivity, and you'll create a life filled with strength and beauty. Today, take a moment to reflect. Who or what in your life acts as your sunlight? Share your thoughts below, and let your garden thrive. 7th, letting go of ego and comparison. Picture a bird trapped in a cage, restless and agitated as it gazes at the open sky. The cage is not locked, yet the bird remains, tethered by its own belief that it cannot leave. This is the ego, a self-imposed prison that thrives on comparison, envy, and the need for external validation. Only by stepping out of this cage can the bird and you truly soar. Buddhism teaches that the ego, or ahamkara, is the source of much of our suffering. The ego clings to a false sense of identity, defined by external achievements, social status, or how we measure up to others. When consumed by ego, you may find yourself in an endless race, chasing approval, fearing rejection, and comparing your journey to paths that were never meant for you. There's a Zen story of two monks walking through a forest. One monk, younger and restless, kept looking over at the older monk's elegant robes and calm demeanor. "I wish I could be as wise and respected as you," the young monk said. The older monk smiled and pointed at a tree. "Do you think this tree envies the one beside it?" he asked. "No," the younger monk replied. "Each tree simply grows in its own way, in its own time." The older monk nodded. "So why do you compare your growth to mine? Your path in life is as unique as your fingerprint. Comparing yourself to others not only diminishes your own progress, but also blinds you to the of your journey. The ego loves to draw lines, better than, worse than, success or failure. But these lines are illusions. True growth and fulfillment happen when you erase them and focus inward. To let go of the ego, start by identifying moments where you feel the pull of comparison. Is it when scrolling through social media in conversations about achievements? Recognize that these comparisons are stories created by your mind, not reflections of your worth. Next, practice gratitude and self-compassion. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, breaking the cycle of envy. Self-compassion helps you accept yourself fully, flaws and all, without the need for validation. Release the need for external approval by setting goals aligned with your values, not society's expectations. Seek fulfillment in personal growth, kindness and authenticity. Remember the Buddha's words. You, yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. When you stop comparing and let go of ego, you unlock the freedom to soar unburdened by others' expectations. Like the bird that leaves the cage, you'll find that the open sky was waiting for you all along. What step can you take today to release the cage of ego? Reflect and share your insights below. The sky is yours to claim. 8. Facing discomfort with courage. Imagine steel being forged in fire. The intense heat and hammering seem harsh, but without them, the steel would remain brittle and weak. In the same way, your growth demands that you face discomfort, embrace challenges, and confront fears. The fire may be intimidating, but it's where your true strength is shaped. Buddhism teaches that discomfort and suffering are part of life's natural flow, yet they hold profound lessons. The Buddha said, "Pain is certain, suffering is optional." This insight reminds us that while challenges are inevitable, our reaction to them determines whether we grow stronger or remain stuck. Resilience is born in those moments when we decide to lean into discomfort instead of avoiding it. There's a story of a young woman who sought guidance from a monk after losing her job. "I feel like my life is falling apart," she confessed. The monk handed her a clay pot and asked her to carry it filled with water across a rocky path. As she stumbled, some of the water spilled, but she reached the other side with the pot intact. "What did you learn?" the monk asked. She hesitated, then said, "That I couldn't avoid the rocks, but I made it through." The monk smiled. "Exactly. Life's challenges may spill some water, but they don't break you unless you let them." Discomfort is often a sign that you are stepping outside your comfort zone where growth happens, whether it's starting a new career, having difficult conversations, or pursuing a dream others doubt. Each act of courage expands your potential. The key is to shift your mindset. See discomfort not as a roadblock, but as an invitation to grow. Begin by identifying areas of your life where fear holds you back. Is it fear of failure? Fear of rejection? Write these fears down and then ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen? Often you'll find that the worst-case scenario is far less catastrophic than your mind imagines. Next, take small, deliberate steps into discomfort. If public speaking terrifies you, start by sharing your ideas in a small group. If a big project feels overwhelming, break it into manageable tasks. Each step builds your confidence, like a flame tempering steel. Finally, practice self-compassion as you face challenges. Courage isn't about being fearless. It's about moving forward despite the fear. Celebrate every small victory and remember that even setbacks are part of the process. The flame of discomfort refines and strengthens you, making you resilient and unstoppable. The Buddha taught, a jug fills drop by drop. Similarly, each moment of courage adds to your transformation. What is one fear you can confront today? Share your thoughts below and take the first step toward building your unshakable resilience. 9. Practice gratitude and self-care. Imagine a well deep and brimming with clear, refreshing water. Each drop is a reminder of abundance, yet the well only remains full if it is replenished. Gratitude and self-care are drops that sustain your well, ensuring that you have the clarity and energy to navigate life's challenges. In Buddhism, gratitude is seen as an essential practice for cultivating joy. The Buddha once said, "Let us rise up and be thankful, for if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. And if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we got sick, at least we didn't die. So, Let us all be thankful. Gratitude teaches us to focus not on what is missing, but on what is already present, turning even ordinary moments into sources of fulfillment. There's a story of a farmer whose crops were destroyed by a storm. Heartbroken, he went to a nearby temple where the monk asked, "What remains?" The farmer angrily replied, "Nothing." The monk smiled and pointed to the sky. "The rain still falls, the sun still rises, and your hands still work. With these, you can rebuild." The farmer, humbled, realized that even amidst loss, there was much to be grateful for. Practicing gratitude begins with small, intentional steps. Each day, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you're thankful for. They can be as simple as a kind word from a stranger, the warmth of sunlight, or your own resilience in facing challenges. Gratitude shifts your mindset, reminding you of the richness already within your reach. Equally important is self-care. In the pursuit of goals, it's easy to neglect rest and restoration, but just like the well, you cannot pour from an empty vessel. Self-care is not indulgence, it's a necessity. Create space in your day for activities that nourish your body and mind. It could be meditation, exercise, reading, or simply taking a walk in nature. Balance is the key. Buddhism emphasizes the middle way, avoiding extremes of overexertion or neglect. Whether you're pursuing career ambitions or healing from setbacks, balance effort with moments of stillness. When you honor your needs, you cultivate sustainable growth and prevent burnout. Gratitude and self-care transform your outlook, filling your life with a quiet strength that sustains you even in hard times. Like a well replenished with clear water, you'll find yourself energized and ready to rebuild. Today, pause and reflect. What are you grateful for, and how can you care for yourself better? Share one act of gratitude or self-care below. In doing so, you'll inspire others to fill their wells too. 10. Trusting the process of growth. Picture a river slowly carving its way through stone. It may seem like an impossible task for water to shape something as solid as rock, but with patience and persistence, it does. Over time, the river's steady flow wears down the stone, shaping it in profound ways. This is the process of growth. Gradual, sometimes imperceptible, but always inevitable. Transformation, just like a river carving through stone, doesn't happen overnight. It's easy to feel disheartened when progress seems slow or when setbacks arise. The Buddha understood this truth well and reminded us, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Each small action, every decision you make, no matter how minor it may seem, brings you closer to the person you are becoming. The key is trusting that the process is unfolding in its own time. There is a story of a young monk who sought wisdom from an elder. "I have been meditating every day, but I still feel lost," the young monk said. The elder smiled and told him to look at the tree in front of them. "Do you see how the branches twist and turn in different directions? Do you see how the tree doesn't rush to grow, but slowly expands?" The young monk nodded, understanding. "Growth takes time," the elder continued. "Trust the process. The fruit will come when the time is right." When you're in the midst of rebuilding your life, it can be easy to measure your progress against others or get frustrated when results aren't immediate. However, Buddhist philosophy teaches that setbacks and delays are not signs of failure, but integral parts of the journey. Every challenge you face is a lesson in disguise. Instead of seeing setbacks as obstacles, try reframing them as opportunities for growth. Each difficulty adds to your resilience and wisdom. To stay committed, celebrate the small victories. Did you take a step forward today, even if it was just one small action? Celebrate it. Each day you show up, you are making progress. Just like the river, the small changes you make today will compound over time. In the quiet moments of self-reflection, recognize how far you've come, and trust that even when it feels slow, growth is happening. Trusting the process of growth is about embracing patience. Trust that the choices you make, no matter how small, are building the foundation for a stronger, more authentic version of yourself. Just like the river, the process may feel slow, but with time, it will carve a new path for your life. As we step into 2025, take a moment to look back on your journey so far. Are you trusting the path of your growth? Celebrate the little wins along the way, because every small step moves you closer to the change you're working toward. What's one small win you can celebrate today? Share it below, and let's keep the momentum going together. Bonus insight: tapping into your inner strength. Picture a sleeping volcano quietly resting beneath the surface. For years, it stays calm, its massive energy hidden deep within. But when the time comes, it erupts with incredible power, transforming everything around it. That same power exists inside you, waiting to be awakened. We've all had times when we felt powerless, moments of setbacks, losses, or failures that made us question our worth and ability to move forward. It's easy to think that your past mistakes or struggles define you, that your history will always hold you back. But Buddhist teachings remind us of a powerful truth. The ability to change, to rebuild, is always within us. Your past doesn't decide your future, your actions today do. The Buddha taught that we're not just a reflection of our past experiences. Instead, we hold endless potential for growth and transformation in every moment. This wisdom is freeing. No matter how tough your past has been, you have the power to shape what's ahead. Reclaiming your inner strength isn't about pretending your challenges never happened. It's about embracing them as part of your journey and using them as fuel to grow. One powerful example is a man who hit rock bottom. He lost his job, his home, and even his sense of identity. He felt like a ship adrift at sea, tossed around by the storms of life. One day he stumbled upon a small meditation center and met a wise teacher. "I don't even know where to begin," he said, feeling utterly defeated. The teacher smiled gently and said, "Start from within. The power to rebuild your life is already inside you. Trust yourself and stay present in this moment." Those words deeply resonated with him. Slowly, he began meditating, reconnecting with the strength he had forgotten. In those quiet moments, he found clarity, small glimpses of his true potential. He came to understand that the storm inside him wasn't something to fear. Instead, it was the driving force that could lead him to the peace he longed for. Reclaiming your inner strength begins with realizing one simple truth. You have a choice. You can choose to focus on your weaknesses, or you can embrace your strengths. You can believe that your challenges are too much to handle, or you can see them as stepping stones for growth. The more you acknowledge your inner power, the stronger it becomes, just like a dormant volcano slowly coming to life. This is the true transformation that comes when you reclaim your power. Reclaiming your inner power brings clarity, confidence, and an unshakable belief in your ability to face any challenge. You become the driving force in your own life, realizing that you have the strength to create the future you dream of. Are you ready to tap into that power, to let go of the past and step boldly into a future filled with purpose and resilience? The moment to start is now. Trust yourself as you step into 2025. The strength you need is already within you. Share one small action you'll take today to begin reclaiming your power and rebuilding your life. Let's work together to transform. As you walk this path of rebuilding, remember that true transformation isn't about perfection. It's about growth, perseverance, and finding beauty in the ever-changing nature of life. Challenges will come, but hidden within them are opportunities to uncover your deepest strength and wisdom. As Zen philosophy reminds us, obstacles don't block the path, they are the path. Every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your true self. By practicing mindfulness, balance, and compassion, you can create a life anchored in peace and purpose. When you let go of ego and fully embrace the present moment, clarity begins to flow. Life is like a river, always moving forward, but it's your ability to navigate it with intention and grace that shapes your journey. The longest journey begins with just one step, and every step forward is a victory worth celebrating. As you nurture gratitude and align your actions with what truly matters, you'll see that rebuilding yourself isn't just about your own growth. It's about becoming a light for others. When you transform, you inspire those around you to find their own strength and courage. Your journey of change creates a ripple effect, spreading positivity and hope in the world. If this reflection resonates with you, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Like and share this video to inspire others, and don't forget to subscribe to Buddha's Eternal Wisdom for more transformative Buddhist insights on living a peaceful, fulfilling life. Your journey starts now. Step forward into 2025 with confidence, intention, and a heart full of hope.